Alright. Okay. So we're just checking to make sure that everything is up and running and that we have sound. We'll see how that goes. And it's a little off kilter right now. Forgive me for that. I am testing something else. I was screwing around with OBS earlier, so I'm actually going to see if this testing OBS. Don't mind me. Oh, well, that's a bummer. The chat's not appearing. Okay, I'm gonna shift this window over just a little bit. Don't mind me. Just making it look nice. Okay. I think we should be good then. Alright. So, welcome everyone, whenever in space and time you're deciding to watch this. I'm coming at you live from my closet because the acoustics are just a tad bit better. It's cold in here though, so I'm just got some warm tea to try and keep my hands warm too. Like most of my streaming rules, feel free to just drop anything in the chat. Doodling again today mostly, so if you have any ideas for what you'd like to see being drawn or anything like that, just feel free to just drop it in the chat down below. And, yeah. Okay. Okay, so in lieu of other people joining us at some point in time, we're just gonna start off doodling whatever. Because that's what we do. I hope everyone has been staying safe out there. Staying indoors, obeying warning signs, everything like that. And I really hope no one has got any sicknesses or anything like that. And if you do, make sure you eat some chicken soup, stay in bed, get a nice blanket, good book, chat with friends on your phone, things like that. Nope, don't want that on full opacity. I have so many ideas for what to sketch, and then I get in here and I'm like, my mind is completely blank. I am tabula rasa. So I don't know, we'll just sketch a little man. I heard the new Animal Crossing game came out later as well too, so I'm going to assume like the vast majority of my audience probably has it and is currently playing it, so understandable for why no one would want to join me on a Sunday afternoon. My go-to hair, I guess, is wavy. All the time. It's more texture than straight, but not as hard to draw as curly. Make sure my chat is actually set to live chat and not top chat, as it sometimes does, and I don't like that. Okay. That's all set. Also, I hope everyone has been staying safe with whatever break they might have right now, because I know it's around spring break for some people. We don't have a spring break in the school courses I'm going to right now. You kind of just work through it all until you graduate, which kind of ran into a problem this year with COVID-19. So our graduation has been postponed and has not been rescheduled currently. So I will probably not get to walk. That's okay with me though. I know one of my undergrad professors has stated it loud and proud. He's like, I went to none of my graduations. Not high school, not college, not master's, and not doctorate. To be fair, for the last two, he was like, I just wanted to spend the time with like my wife and child, so We are just flying by the seat of our pants with this character design right now. I don't know what's going on. We got a cloak going on. I guess this person's a witch, maybe? They started off as a guy. They're not a guy now. I promise it'll get more cohesive. Just sketching normally is like, you know, it's a sketch. Ooh, cracked my neck. Okay. Been doing that a lot lately. It's the hardest thing about COVID-19 so far is the fact that the weather where I live currently is oscillating rapidly between, oh, it's actually spring, and joke's on you, idiot, winter isn't over until May. So it's like warm for like half of a day, and then it's like freezing cold again, and it's, makes it hard. Makes it a little hard. But that's okay. Oh, that's what I can draw. Until someone shows up and tells me what else to draw. There was a new creature thing, because, okay, how I design creatures, it either I come up with like the design first and then the name later, or sometimes it's a pun name and I'm just like, no, I need to make this. And the one was the Ouroboros. Ouroboros? Ouroboros. So we are going to... I already had a vague idea of like something with like two mouths, but then this pun name came up and I was like, that's good. So we'll try and make that into something, I guess. Start off with a nice circle, because that's essentially what the Ouroboros always represents, or whatever. Like a roaring mouse, I guess. Roar. Beware all ye who enter this chat. And I don't know if anyone watches this back after the fact, but if you do, you can suggest things in the comments below, and I can try and draw them next time as well, too. So, you know, in case you're like, oh, I missed the live stream, that sucks, and I'm like never streaming on the same days because life gets in the way of life. Feel free to suggest things in the comments below as well too, and I can draw them for next stream. We have options. We can work with what we're given. I have some little street horns for this guy. Nice. Nope, popped off the chat for some reason. Okay. This guy gets some curly horns. He's a curly boy. And I know I said I would start at 7, but I was like testing stuff out with OBS, so I was like, yeah, I'll just throw it on a little earlier, so this gives me, I guess, a head start, sort of. If you were, for whatever reason, waiting for the stream to start, why would you? I'm pretty sure you have better stuff to do with your time than watch this travesty occurring. Is this design original? Absolutely not. Because I believe the ancient Aztecs have something like this. I could swear I've seen it on like some tablets somewhere. Aztecs, Mayans, I always get those two confused. Maybe it was the Mayans. It was not the Incas, that's about all I know. It's been a while since I've had South American history as a class. Let's see, we'll just... Here's an arm. Makes it look like it's turning the wrong way because of that thumb placement, so I'll just... Ugh. Bug report. Oh, and if you're watching this at a different place in time and you don't have a YouTube account, I have my Deviant Art linked below as well too. You can contact me between streams with that and be like, oh hey, I have this idea for what I want to see in a stream. And I'll read those and I can sketch them later as well too. I'm still working on different options for people who don't have YouTube accounts to, you know, like, stay in with the chat and stuff, and maybe Discord would be a better option for that, but I'm not very well versed in Discord, like, at all, so I don't know how that would go. We'll see. I'm gonna pull a sneaky one on everything here. It's gonna kind of like... This one would wrap up and around here. Just like that. Sort of like, kind of like intertwined, but then they're like not exactly on the same body. You dig? I drew that one wrong over there, but I'm not entirely sure. What? Why not? Give this guy hooves on this hand. Because sky's the limit. It's an abomination of nature already, so we can just keep that gravy train a-rolling, I guess. It's not a good gravy train, but it's a-rollin'. I have no idea why I drew it that way, so we're gonna actually turn it like right side up, really. Ew, I do not like drawing square teeth. That's no bueno. Would this thing be able to take flight? Probably not, but we'll give it wings anyway. Just in case. It's like when there's a bug in your room and you're like, oh, hello there, bug. How'd you get in my room? And then all of a sudden it takes off flying and you're like, a hole up there, that was not part of the deal. I think I got a general understanding of what I want to do with that guy. Okay. Sickly green yellow. There we go. I think it's just because of the guideline, but I really want to just like give this thing some whiskers. It looks like a weird mutated rat head, but I am here for that. Looks great. Great. Also, please comment down below if Sunday is a good time for you or not. I did Sunday this week because I had an important phone call at 8 o'clock at night, believe it or not, that I had to make, so I was like, I can't start a stream at 7. Hey, Star Mist! Hello! Welcome back! How are you doing? How are you holding up? I know I'm mixing it up, and I'm like, oh hey, let's do it on not Saturday, because important phone calls, life gets in the way of life, you know how it goes. How has your week been going, by the way? I know it's been a little busy for people. Okay. Mainly Saturday. I'll have to keep that in mind going forward. I'll try and keep them on Saturday, but sometimes Saturday is, how do I put it? It's like the weekday of the weekend for me. It's like when I have to get all my stuff done. But I can definitely fit streaming in. I've done it in the past. Oh, well, I mean, that's a good highlight to have, though, right? Some Pixar quality animation. I was happy how it turned out. I was like, oh boy, they're probably just gonna, like, throw up Wendy in the constant, and then I was like, pleasantly surprised. Nope, she's not in the constant. She's at home missing her sis. What did you think of the rework, actually, as well, too? Because, you can explain what happened. That means you watched it so many times you can explain it all then, right? I know everyone was going like, oh, she fell off a cliff and that's how she died, but am I the only one who heard like a car crash, like car screeching sound during that clip though? Like, am I just going deaf? What is that? Like, am I missing something? Am I the idiot here? I mean, probably, but still, also at the same time, like, I couldn't have been the only one who heard that, right? That was an instrument or Abigail's voice. Okay, so I am just going deaf then. I need my ears checked. Uh. How are you liking her new skins? I know you said you were gonna get her skins when she got the rework done. Well, I know, like, the instruments are the people's voices, but, like, I could swear it sounded like a car screech. Like car crash noise. But I guess I'm just going deaf because no one else heard it as that is, so that's a me issue, and I really need to get seen by a doctor for that. Ooh. I'm losing myself in the guidelines. Here we go. So what all did they add to Wendy's rework as well too? Any special perks? Did they like rebalance her at all? Today I learned I can't hear flutes. It probably comes from working in a factory for a few years, honestly. I'm going deaf. No matter how many earplugs they tell you to wear, it doesn't protect your ears. Ooh. Wendy has her own crafting tab. Does that mean she can, like, make Abigail's flower? I thought she could already make Abigail's flower. Huh. Is Abigail, like... Does she have a better AI now? Is she just gonna run around attacking Weber spiders? Because that's sad. ectolobotomy. Ectobiology. Oh no. Does that mean all the ghosts have been reworked as well too, or is that just like all designated to the new enemy features that they had to, and they're just gonna leave the ghosts the same? Don't forget to apply the healing potion of mana to your ghosts. So she's just become the alchemist in every RPG ever. I love it. That's great. It makes me excited what they can do for other people's reworks now too. What helps with damage? Nice. I mean, effectively already, Abigail was probably the best way to deal damage as Wendy, so like... I mean, no shade on Wendy, she's just a child, but at the same point in time, both the children have little helpers to help them with that. Seeing what they do with the characters now, though, does make me excited for future reworks. Because, like, oh man, can you imagine a Wickerbottom rework? I can't speak today. Goodness gracious. Oh, jeez. Holding out for my girl, Wickerbottom. I can only ever draw one hoof looking good. Let's see the effects of each one. Healing over time, nice. Healing over time but stronger, always a needed. Extra damage, counterattack. Invincibility after being hit. That's a good one. And most useless of all, a buff that ups speed. You gotta go Sonic fast. Do they stack, is the question. Because if they stack, the buff that just ups speed seems just brilliant. Just like a super fast Abigail. Just speedballing around. Oh, that'd be so cool. I hope they stack. I hope it's like a limitless stack. So just basically the entire new update is like, hey, Wendy can make steroids for Abigail. This is great. This is good. I love this. I didn't give him ears. That's why it looks weird. I kind of like him without ears, though. We're gonna keep him without ears. No, only one can be applied at a time. Ah, peas. Clay, you're ruining my fun. My hypothetical fun. And they have different amount of time they're to infect for. Clay! Don't ruin my fun, man. If I want to have a Sonic the Abigail running around, I want a Sonic the Abigail. Man, I wish there was supported mods for Don't Starve Together. Cause sure as sugar, I would relearn programming just to do that. To make a mod where she just goes super fast. But, like, what does it take to mod Don't Starve Together, I think is what I'm saying. Because I know in just, like, the regular Don't Starve thing, like, anybody could make a mod. But in Don't Starve Together, since it has to be supported across everyone who picks up that game and across all servers, what is there something special? Do you have to, like, give it to Clay and then they add it on there? Or, like, I'm just genuinely uncertain of how that even works anymore. Client mods. It's tempting. It's tempting. Maybe one day I'll relearn how to code thing so that we can have Sonic the Abigail. By that point in time, probably no one will be playing Don't Starve anymore, so I'm barking up the wrong tree. Okay, So I would have to find a person who'd be willing to put that on as a mod on one of their servers. Okay. I think this guy's done then. Yeah, it's close enough. You can make your own server world for free. I didn't know that. I thought the servers were still like you had to pay to get them up. I don't know. Whenever I hear the word server, I typically think of you have to pay, so that's maybe why I thought that. Ah, man, I'm out of the loop. I swear I'm not a boomer, but sometimes I act like it. Okay. Well, anyway, Pun Creature is done. So I know we were kind of talking about this last stream. How you had an idea for an OC. Do you want us to just brainstorm through that right now? I mean, you're the only one in chat right now, so we can just try and hash something out and give your character a face if you want. Because I'm all for that. Okay. Well, if not that, then was there anything else you might have had in mind? Bearing in mind it's like pug wearing sneakers rules here, I could try and draw it. It's just, it might not look any good because I can't draw pugs or sneakers very well. I know, but they're so hard to draw. Like, I mean, I can try and show you what I mean. You kind of just start off with real big eyes, and their nose is like triangle, and it's like, ugh. And I've officially drawn the most cursed thing, I think, on this entire stream. So this is just gonna... I'm just gonna remove that from existence. I mean, I was messing around with OBS earlier, so I have it to a point where I can actually now pull up stuff on the internet for reference images without having to have people see like randomly awkwardly half of a tab. So there's always an option if you had like any certain character elements in mind. I could always go and look those up. It's a pudgy cat. I mean, you see? Pudgy cat, if you take out the D in the Y, it spells pug cat. And that's halfway to a pug, so... Case in point. Just kidding, it was a terrible pug, I know it. I can draw like collies, and that's about it as far as the dog kingdom goes, because collies are majestic. They're just like, they got these ears all pointed, and then they're just got this like majestic mane, just like that. They're so fluffy. They got these like really thin legs coming out underneath of that too. Yeah, you get the picture. Minding the pun. I'm trying to think of what to doodle now too, though, so it's okay. I think my mind kind of ground to a halt with the monster that's been haunting the margins of my notebook for a while. Collies are such a majestic breed of dog. I love them. Inspiration, where art thou? Ooh. An interesting one. How so? They really playful, smart, mischievous. Do they know how to turn on and off light switches like some kind of chaotic dog? Continue with this then, I guess, before inspiration hits me again. Is a mental problem? What kind of mental problem? Oh, he's got motion sickness. Poor thing. Are his inner ears okay? Have you checked those? Or has the vet checked them out, rather? Very afraid of wet floors. To be fair, I avoid wet floors like the plague if I'm wearing socks. So that seems normal enough. But if he's having motion sickness, it might be his inner ears. He could have a little bit of an ear infection, just some fluid in there. Okay. How long have you had him for, too? A couple years now? And has his behavior changed over the course of time of you having him? Oh boy, I can't speak tonight. I'm so sorry. About 3 years and he hasn't changed since he was 3 months. 1 year old. Okay. So this just seems like a him problem, as you kind of already stated. Well, I hope he's still fun to play with, even if he acts a little neurotic sometimes. Oh my gosh, yes. Hatton Time is great. Snatcher is amazing. Every single one of his voice lines is a treat to listen to. Hat Kid herself is flippin' adorable. You know what, to be honest, I was looking at the analytics of my YouTube video, so I'm not surprised nobody knows this. But at the end of Poker Face, I have an after credit sequence of Willow doing the Peace and Tranquility dance. So, Yeah, I'm a fan of Hat in Time. And now you can go and see the after credit sequence knowing it exists now. Agreed. I would watch one of the conductor's movies any day of the week. They all seem fantastic. DJ Grooves' Grooves' maybe not so much, but I like the Walrus Captain too. He's just like, he's so done with everything, but he still shows up to work. It's great. All the characters are so charming and adorable. And Queen Vanessa is frightening. Okay, this is a drawing I'm working on for post April Fools because I have a drawing I'm gonna post on April Fools. This is an OC. His name is Icarus, and as you can see, poor boy doesn't have any eyes, but that doesn't slow him down at all. He has a bird that's kind of like a peacock, except all of its eyes are located on its tail feathers, and it helps him see and wander around, and I kind of have the sketch for that done right there. You can kind of see what I mean. I can show you a better picture on one of these. That's what the bird is. So he's an OC that I made fairly recently, but he has a story idea that kind of took off running as soon as it was created, and I was like, oh gosh, darn, I love this poor boy. So I'm kind of just drawing something in not my usual style, something without outlines, and seeing how it goes. But I love him, and even though he's eyeless, he's my precious baby. And he's got fangs because why not? Oh yeah, I have to erase these parts. Blech. That being said, at any point in time, if you do like have an idea for something for me to doodle, just shout out in chat and I'll go and do it. I'm just kind of working on this in lieu of not really knowing what to draw right now. Queen Vanessa's Manor is my favorite level. It's so... whew. It's such like a beautiful diversion from the rest of the game. And just in terms of like... Subcon is like that cool sort of creepy. And then you get to Vanessa's Manor and just go straight PT on you, and you're like, oh my gosh. I think I actually screamed out loud while I was playing it one time. And I'm not afraid to admit that. Okay. I did know the manor could be skipped, but I mean, like, I don't want to skip any more of the game. It's already not a short game necessarily, but short enough, you know? I hope if they come out with more DLC in the future, we'll get Moonjumper added back in too. Because, like, man, looking at his concept art, he would have been interesting. Yeah. But, like, that feels like cheating. Because, like, the whole point of the manor is to just be like, oh shoot, Vanessa's frightening. I think I've seen some people do it, like, in speed run tactics and stuff before, and it's. Man, like. It's like the people who can complete that one, seal a deal thing where you can only use a certain amount of jumps to get to the end, and they somehow complete it in one just by using like the ground pound technique with the ice cap, and it's like, I don't. How? Why? Yeah. It's part of the fun, though. Part of the fun is being scared. And I can see why people would want to skip it. It is almost completely out of left field compared to the rest of the game. It is just the tonal shift of like, ah, look at this funny game for children. You're fighting a cursed outhouse. Then, oh boy, you ready to become a grown up today? Even lighter. Perfect. Oh my gosh, yeah. Subcon is probably the most interesting place. There's just so many different elements in there as well, too. Like the one noose that just like talks really creepy about how much it wants to hang from your neck, and uh, that whole thing, and the whole backstory with Snatcher was originally supposed to be Moonjumper, and Snatcher, as we know him today, was just this like, little wormy boy who was trying to take power from Moonjumper, and then he got scrapped, and it's interesting. It's very interesting. My roommate's cat's at the door. Gonna have a cat interruption. In typical cat fashion, he came knocking on my door to say, hey, I want somebody to watch me eat. Fantastic. I think I'm happy with those feetsies. Yeah, they're pretty good. Okay. As much as I love drawing this bird, I'm not looking forward to drawing this bird. It's gonna be a long one. Doesn't seem like... No, it's not 100%. Maybe this just isn't dark enough. Okay. So, Icarus's story. Let me try and get where to start. Should I start from the beginning? Probably. Okay, so I'll think of the best way to word this, because currently the information's all spread out, like, among everything. So Icarus is born without eyes, because in the story so far, subject to change, there is a subset of humans that are just more closely linked to the astral realm, and they just have no eyes and pointy teeth. That whole aspect has been subject to change. I've been wrestling with the idea of maybe some of them have no mouth, some of them have no ears. You get the point. They're missing, like key features. And there is this one woman who has been sacrificing these children throughout time for the past 500 or so years to an astral being so that she could gain immortality. And, well, Icarus is next up on the chopping block, and he does not know that at the current moment. He can't be called Four Eyes, that is true. That is utterly true. So, Icarus's whole story, as I'm planning on starting to write it, is him actually just trying to journey around the world and find a spell that lets him see, because his little peafowl friend here with the eyes tries to describe color to him, but he can't describe color to Icarus very well at all, because Icarus is like, I don't know what you mean when you say green. And if you try and describe it in temperature, he looks at you funny and says, hey, I can feel its temperature. It's not that temperature. So, his whole goal starting out is to find a spell that lets him see, and it just kind of spirals into him finding out this plot to essentially sacrifice him to an astral centipede, and him saying, well, that's no bueno, and finding a way to stop that. And in the process, he meets a whole bunch of cool characters. His neighbors next door are the most morally questionable, but still nevertheless good people you'll ever meet in your entire life. They steal eggs from his yard all the time, but they also kind of raised him, so, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. No, something dark and grim. Are you talking about the eyeless children? That entire, internet urban legend thing with the children with no eyes that just have, black eyes, and they come up to your door and they go, please let us in, and you gotta, say, no. Where are your parents? Who are your parents? And then they get angry at you, and they make the lights flicker all spooky, and bad things happen. I guess I should give a shout out here to Whimsy Kitty. You can find her on Deviant Art. She's kind of been helping me hash through the story as it is and getting it to a point where I'm like, yeah, this can be conceivably considered fiction to some people. So, very, very special thanks to her. I would not be where I'm at with his story if it wasn't for her. I don't know exactly what, I can't think of it. But it also seems so familiar. Maybe from a game. I don't know anything about eyeless children ghost stories. Well, that's where I've heard the term before, at least. it does kind of feel familiar, I guess, as a term. Um, I don't know what else it could be from, though, if it isn't from the internet horror stories. H O holes? Hollow Knight? Hollow Knight. Yeah, they do. I mean, they all kind of have no eyes except for the infected. Yeah, Hollow Knight. Yeah. Spell it out Ouija board style, too. My gosh, Hollow Knight is a hard game. I swear to not take inspiration from Hollow Knight while making this character. He was originally like a sketch I did for Halloween, and then I was like, I like this guy, so I kept him around. You nearly 100%ed Hollow Knight? Like, even that insane, like, what, the Trial of Spears, is it called? Hallway of Spears? The one insane hallway thing that's just coated to the brim with knives and saws and spears and everything. My gosh, you're like a pro gamer. Like, I seriously, Hollow Knight is difficult. Pantheons, yeah. Path of Pain, that's what it was called. White Palace was fun challenge. You know you're a pro gamer when you call it a fun challenge. No need to boost my ego. It's already big enough. Oh, I'm boosting it. Your ego's gonna be super large now. what was the most challenging fight for you in Hollow Knight, though? Because I know there's so many. Like, so which one would you say was the hardest? The Pale Prince, Pure Vessel, yeah. The Hollow Knight's true form, basically. My gosh, the music in it is so good. Seriously, just sometimes listen to that on loop while I'm working. Okay. So I'm gonna assume then that you didn't play the Hornet DLC slash game that came out then? Because I know a lot of people were like super excited for that, and I was like, I can't even play Hollow Knight. I thought the Hornet game did come out though. Silk Song? Yeah, Silk Song's the name of it. Could have sworn that came out last year because there was like a whole bunch of trailers and hype and. Huh. Oh, well, now my memory's going too. Hmm. Oh, it must have been a demo people were talking about then. Something like E3 or something. Hmm. Okay, so that's probably why I thought the game came out when it didn't. It was a demo. Okay. Alright. I was wondering what they were going to do with E3 because of Corona. I mean, it would make sense to postpone and or cancel E3 this year just because of that. Because that's nothing but a bunch of controllers passed from hand to hand, and that's not good health measure-wise. Wander Song? No, I haven't heard of it. Is that something similar to Hollow Knight, or is that like a journey type dealio? I'm gonna look that up real quick, because now you've piqued my curiosity. Let's see, Wander Song. Music themed game. You sing to... Whoa. Whoa. That's cool. Oh, wow. Oh, that is sick. That's... People are so creative. Humans can sometimes be pretty cool. Main character is just the most precious character ever. I'm gonna have to check that out later, because that... I mean, if my dulcet tones don't drift you off to sleep right now, I'm not exactly a professional singer by any means, but oh, goodness, that sounds adorable. Oh my gosh. I love it. And here I thought everyone was going to be gunning for VR this year, but it looks adorable. Oh. it sounds like a D&D bard, but that is entirely a good thing. It's like a G-rated D&D bard. It's just like conflict, it's not a problem anymore. That is such a beautiful premise for a game, and I really, really hope that, like, a lot of people buy it, and I'm definitely gonna go check it out after we're done streaming, because dang. That's so sweet. And he can do it with the help of his fellow gamers on the other side of the screen. Aww. It almost sounds like they're probably not going to take it in that direction, but the game, like, One Shot, where it's like just the most adorably precious character ever going out and trying to, like, save the world. Oh, I love it. I love it already. You've convinced me. You've sold me on the premise. I'm gonna have to really check that game out. Dig deep into the pits of my pockets and see if I can get enough money to make it worth it. And the problem with the game is that after you beat it, it's kind of useless. Unless you uncover a secret. That's it. I do like me some secrets. And there's always room for DLC as well, too. I know a lot of game makers nowadays kind of hinge on the DLC aspect of stuff just because, well, it makes money. As sad as that is a fact to admit, it really does help them. And if it's a game you like, there's no harm in getting DLC. scene where you name the main character. If you take more than a minute, the character says took you long enough to say your name. It's a good thing they don't have that in Skyrim. Took you long enough to remember what your face looked like. Oh, goodness. I like games like that, where they just kind of poke fun at it. All on their own. Spent 10 minutes to choose the name of the board. Would you eventually end up naming him? Bard. It's the best. That's the best name to name him, though. Like, okay. In my book, it's great. When I played D&D with my friends, I would not know what to name my characters, so I just named them their class. I had a paladin named Paladin, I had a ranger named Ranger, and even though my wizard actually had a name, people just called her Wizard. That's perfect. I wholeheartedly approve of that name. I love it. It's great. Huzzah, man of culture. At least I have found someone who sees eye to eye with me on the name issue. Yeah, a little bit, but is that what Wendy is, though? Abigail's is dead on arrival. The on arrival part is necessary. But if we truly boiled it down to like what they were, Wendy's would just be small child girl. Weber's is easy. It's Spider Boy. Wilson's is just the gentleman scientist. Wait a minute. Wendy's would just be the grieving, right? Because that's like her little like title slate thing in the character select screen. Just as Willow's is the fire starter. You that child! It's like naming a dog. Dog. Yeah, but like we had a cat named Cat at one point. Spelled Q-A-T, but nevertheless, cat. It's plausible. If it perfectly describes who they are and doesn't attribute anything else to them, then it's perfect. It's their true name then, isn't it? I will probably never have children, but if I did, I'm gonna try and convince my significant other to name it Human. My name is Human and you will respect it. Yes. It'd be like naming Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. You might think Human is a weird name to name a human, but legit. I knew a person who named their kid 4 capital T's. It was just 4 capital T's in a row. And it was pronounced Forest. And I have no idea how it was pronounced Forest, but it was, and it's just... I don't know. Don't starve together to stand for do suffer together. And I love misattributing acronyms. Oh, it's the best. You could also go with now all of a sudden my mind is blank. Dodos should tether. Don't stave trunks. Yours is a lot better. If you want to write it in ham radio code, it'd just be Delta Sierra Tango. Yes, I do know about Terraria. I have not played it, just because I have Minecraft, so I was like, I can't afford essentially 2D Minecraft on top of Minecraft, so I'm really waiting until I get a job at this point. Luxury stuff is put on hold until I can get a paying job. Such is the way with life and luxury, but that will be ending soon, fortunately. So, I know it's not a direct clone of Minecraft, because there's different bosses and there's more of a storyline, kind of, sort of. Yeah, it's not just 2D Minecraft. At the time, though, I was like, on first glances, I will admit I have judged a book by its cover. Oh boy, I love story. Swear if this ends in a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air meme, I'll give you props. This is the story all about how the world got flipped or upside down. Okay, I'm on board. Druids and Cthulhu. You had me at Cthulhu. Oh, it's all come together! Because there's that eye monster. I do know there's an eye monster in Terraria. So that's Cthulhu's eye just running around? Sick. Oh, that's cool. Okay. It still leaves the eye and the brain. So one of the other two is probably one of the great evils in the world. So then is there an actual objective to Terraria then as well too? Like, you have to go out and defeat the corruption? Or like find the druid? Or both? Corruption is a corrupt purple wasteland that the plagues the world. It's destroying corrupt. The beast that plagues it is called the Eater of Worlds. Okay. That would probably explain the weird Minecraft mod. Then. There's a mod called Domcraft for Minecraft. And it features what they call the Taint, which is just a corrupted purple wasteland like that. I mean, huh. You buy Minecraft, you get more than one game. It's a worm-like and made of many segments. Ooh. Spooky. What? Oh, for Pete's sake, I drew it on the wrong layer. That's fine. Here we go. And Crimson is a bloody red-themed palace that houses a... I'm hanging on the edge of that sentence. Gory monsters. Okay. It sounds like a very dangerous place to try and explore. I'm gonna assume that's more endgame, probably. Maybe. Me bad grammars. No, it's okay. I have trouble reading lines a lot, too. It's a wonder I've gotten this far. It adds dramatic tension to the story you're telling. It's good. It's fine. It's perfect. Don't worry about it. Just remember, presentation is everything. Mind is controlled by hive mind known as the brain of Cthulhu. Okay. So we got the intestines and brain, and then there's just that eye floating around. You can only get one evil in a world, and a character is separate from a world. So you can play the same character with the same items in such different worlds, so you can experience both evils. That's an interesting concept. Huh. I do like that a lot, though. That sounds very unique. And the corruption is my favorite evil because of its music and items. What kind of items does it drop then? Like, stuff you can craft more stuff out of? Or is it like just for collectibles' sake? Weapons and equipment, the Corruption and Crimson have counterparts of each other's loot and baddies. Okay. So, like, if you beat the Corruption, you'll get an item that'll make the Crimson easier to fight then? Or at least more defensive item against it? So there's like this ranged weapon you get in the corruption. Well, the one in the crimson works differently. Okay. And you just like that ranged weapon better? That's pretty cool, though. Do you get to decide what world you land in first, in terms of... Yes, okay. There's a lot more to Terraria than they let on with some of the promotional artwork, it looks like. Yeah, I'm good with that. It used to be random, but you can choose between them now, or you can choose the random option. Okay. I assume enough people were like complaining about it to such an extent that they were like, we'll change it, don't worry. But that's good though. If you can choose, that seems like more options can get opened up, which is nice. There's an option to choose the world difficulty between expert mode and normal mode. Okay. Does expert mode follow like hardcore Minecraft rules where if you die, that's it, you can't respawn back into that world? Exclusive loot and harder. Okay. So it's a pretty nice trade-off at the very least. Okay. So it's like souped up bosses, but you get more loot. That's nice, though. It sounds, balanced, at the very least. Oh shoot, it's already past 9. Oh, dang. Oh. I'm having a blast, but I'm probably gonna have to cut it short because night's not getting any less dark outside. And I still need to go for a walk. So, save the picture. Thanks for joining me once again for this stream, Star Mist. It's always really nice to have somebody there to talk to, so I'm not just talking to a wall. It really is. Yeah, whenever I do a stream next, feel free to jump in, request anything you want. And if at any time you feel you want a face put to your OC, because your OC is flippin' adorable from what I've heard so far, just giant sweaters and all that good stuff, feel free to either ask me in the YouTube comment section. You can go to my Deviant Art and post a question like that. It's a request I'm willing to do. So, if any point in time you would want to get around to that, I'd be more than happy to help. So, alright, well, I have other important things to do, so yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and a great upcoming week as well, too. Stay safe, stay healthy, get some chicken soup, eat your veggies, all those things they tell you, all of that. Bye.